Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about this movie that I saw called M3GAN. Now for those of you guys who don't know, M3GAN is a movie that just very recently released in theaters. It's about this AI doll that looks like a real girl and how the doll is trying to bond with this actual real girl. And of course, when you have a horror movie with the doll, you know things are going to go wrong. But this movie is different. This movie is very different, and let me tell you why. To start off with, if you guys don't know, the month of January is a month where you tend to have movie releases that aren't known to be strong performers. In fact, it's one of those months where you kind of just drop a movie and hope that it does well if you're a studio. And when you have a horror movie, especially releasing in the beginning of the year, it's kind of suspicious just because good horror movies tend to come out in the summer or towards Halloween. At least that's what the trend is, and that's what we've come to sort of be on the lookout for. So when you have a horror movie coming out in January, that does raise a few flags. And when the trailer first came out for this movie, quite honestly, the movie looked pretty goofy. I mean, it looked like a very basic idea. Like, of course, we've had a movie with the doll that is going to kill people. I mean, that's entirely what Chucky is about, except now it's a girl doll and it's human-sized. So, you know, what else is there to the movie? But I found myself genuinely surprised after watching the movie, and it kind of blew me away. In fact, I think it's blowing everyone's expectations away currently. So what made this movie work? Why is this movie pretty good? Well, to start off with, I think one of the things that this movie does pretty well is explore the emotional relationship between the character of the aunt as well as the little girl. And by the way, I just want to say that this video is going to have spoilers, so I do hope that you guys go watch M3GAN first and then come back to this video and see if you like it or agree with me. So yeah, as I was saying before, I really enjoyed the emotional connection that we get to see between the aunt and the daughter, and it's a story that has been done before. You're not exploring anything new, but I think when you start seeing how the aunt thought it was a good idea to just let someone else do the parenting role while you relax, and then you see how wrong that turns out, you start to connect with the aunt. Not only that, but you end up seeing how you may think you're doing a good thing by building a robot for your little child that you have to take care of, but at the end of the day, what really matters is that human-to-human connection, and no one can really replace that. When you're dealing with trauma, it's important that you're talking to another human being and really interacting with them, because when trauma happens, humans tend to latch on to things. And that's no different for the little girl that was involved in the movie. The movie surprisingly felt heartfelt, and the movie did a good job of making sure that the little kid was not cringe, unlike the kid from Black Adam. And I thought that the humor was also pretty good. Granted, the jokes weren't hitting for me all the time, but the times it did hit, I think it really did a good job. And overall, I didn't find myself bored or even checking my phone. I was pretty invested in the movie. My favorite parts were the parts where you finally had M3GAN go crazy and start killing people. However, that only happens towards the end, so that's a bit of a letdown. As well as the fact that M3GAN ends up becoming this super killer doll all of a sudden. I kind of wish it was fleshed out a bit more. I'm not saying she automatically just one day decides to kill people, but I'm not exactly sold on the idea that it only took these many instances for her to just go wacko or crazy. Now, another thing that again stood out to me apart from the emotional character building was also the use of side characters. You don't get to see a whole lot of them, but the ones that do pop up on this screen, her co-workers, especially her boss, I think did a great job. I think her boss is one of those characters that's supposed to be a bit cartoonish, but he never overdid it, and he did a good job of representing what people that only care about money act like, and how they only care about product delivery rather than other important things like the well-beings of their employees and whatnot. The movie surprisingly felt like a Pixar movie with the message it was trying to convey. The message being that in the moment of trauma, it's important to bond with people, and you can't really replace a human relationship with something else, and relationships can grow out of anywhere. It doesn't have to be that you need to know a person over a long time. We humans can end up becoming attached to other human beings, and that's a good thing, and we should always kind of look out for each other. And like I said, as soon as I walked out of the theater, I felt like I came out of a Pixar movie minus the horror that was included. Overall, I thought the movie had a great message. I think it was well done, well made. The story was also engaging. It was a very tight movie, as in there weren't any parts that dragged on for too long. Wish there was more killing involved with M3GAN. That kind of happens all of a sudden, but that's okay. Other than that, a pretty surprising hit. I wouldn't be surprised if this movie does a good job at the box office. It's for sure going to make its profits because the movie was only made on a budget of $12 million. So yeah, if you guys have seen the movie, let me know what you guys thought and let me know which parts you agreed with me, which ones you didn't, and I will see you guys next time.